Hi everybody, welcome to this suggested solution to task 2 of the COVID-19 temperatures problem. This is an exam level based question for A-level students of computer science, and the topic is object-oriented programming. Now, task 2 does take us back to AS level file handling. So make sure that you stay up to date with topics that you studied at AS level, because some of them, including file handling, are in the A2 syllabus. Okay, let's get started. Design a new doctor class method, incident log. This method asks the user to write an incident log entry, so that's one thing that this method does. The log is appended to a text file that has the same name as the doctor's ID. Okay? So that's really this ward number here. The doctor's current health rating is concatenated to the end of the log entry. Okay, so that's something we need to consider. So let's get started. Remember that this is a doctor class method, so line it up with all the other methods and incident log. And let's call it incident log. And I don't think there are any parameters within this definition of the incident log. No, I don't think so. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a file name. And the file name is basically the doctor's ward number concatenated with .txt. Now this is a string. And this is a string, so we can easily concatenate them together. Now let's get the log entry from the user. So we're just going to use input. We're going to get a string from the user, enter the log info. Then what I'm going to do is concatenate the doctor's health rating onto the end of that log entry. So we're basically updating the log entry. We don't need to create a new variable. We can just update. So the current log entry concatenated with self._health. Now that's an integer. This is text. So let's convert this data into a string. Okay, so this is now just simply a string. Okay, so this is the log entry. Now let's open this file. Is it append or is it write? It says will be written. Then the text file being written to. Does it say anything about append? No, let's just open it for right now and see how we go. Okay, and now that we've opened this file, this variable will allow us to communicate with it. So let's use that variable. To communicate with the file, we're simply going to call the write method and send it the log entry that we designed or created up here. Okay, so we're just going to write that into this file. And don't forget to close the file. So again, we'll use the file variable, file pointer, to communicate with the file and tell it to close. So I believe that is the end of the incident log definition. Let's just test a few things here. We've got a new doctor on the ward. His name is Dr. James Kardashian. Is it with a C or a K? I can't remember. And his ward number is WTD002. And remember that his health rating will be set up in the background. By default, it will be 5. So now let's call the doctor classes one of these methods. So we've got a doctor class variable here. It's D. So we can use that to communicate with any method. in the doctor class, and we're going to call incident log. So let's run our program and see what happens. Invalid syntax. Returns. Is it return? It's return, isn't it? Dear, dear, dear. What a horrible mistake. And that's, of course, the problem with copy and paste, isn't it? If you make an error in the original information, you're going to copy it into all the others. The Queen has a cold. The Queen has a cold. Boom! Finished. So let's go into my project folder where I've got my intro file. There it is. And in the same folder, we're going to find the text file. Okay, it wasn't there before, but this line of code automatically created this text file. And if we open it up, we've got the log entry. Concatenated on the end is the doctor's health rating. So let's minus health from D. And now let's call the incident log again, just to do a fuller test. It's not a full test, really. There's more we could do. But let's call it again, and we'll run the module. Enter the log info. The Queen has a cold. Then we did the minus health. That happened in the background. There's no output. We didn't see it happening, but hopefully it happened. And the object has been updated. And now we're getting the second incident log. The Queen, things are getting more serious, has the flu. Oh my goodness, oh my god. Okay, so let's go and look into my incident log. And there's only one line. You know why that is, right? Because we opened the file for write, and it just overwrites anything that's in the file and starts again. So let's just run everything again. I know this is a bit of a obvious, but we're just going to do for append this time. So let's just delete that. Does append automatically open a file if it doesn't exist? Let's find out. Enter the log info. The Queen has a cold. Oh, okay. The Queen has the flu. Let's capitalize things here a little bit. Finished. Did it create it? Yes, it did. Oh, nearly. We want it on separate lines, don't we? But not bad. Minus health worked. That's good. So my log entry is going to be the information, the health rating, and I'm also going to concatenate onto that a new line. So that will force each time we call incident log, we're going to put the log entry onto a new line. So that will stop everything coming on the same line. Okay? And that's the solution to task 2.